Welcome to the Pragmatic Screencast on cloud computing using Amazon Web Services like EC2 and S3. I'm your instructor and author, Jesse Anderson, and in these 6 episodes, I'll introduce you to the basic concepts behind cloud computing and walk you through setting up your own Amazon EC2 instances, using EC2 as a backend for your WordPress-based blog, a big data implementation using Amazon's Elastic MapReduce, and even a section on costs and ROI calculation for your manager. This preview provides several clips from various episodes and will give you an overview of the presentation style and content you'll find in the series. The first episode teaches the general ideas behind the cloud. The second episode shows step-by-step how to host a website using WordPress and Amazon Web Services. The third episode goes into some considerations when engineering for the cloud. The fourth episode shows how to calculate the cost and return on investment for the cloud. The fifth episode talks about Hadoop and Amazon Web Services implementation of Hadoop Elastic MapReduce. The sixth episode goes into content caching on CloudFront and the relational database service. Now that we know what the episodes will cover, let's talk about the roadmap for watching them. The vast majority of people will benefit from going through the entire series in order. Those already familiar with the cloud can skip halfway through this first episode or go directly to the second episode. If you are in management, I suggest you start with this episode and skip to episode 4's ROI discussion. And if you have more time, go through episode 3's discussion of the cloud within an organization. If you have to absolutely get something on the cloud today, I suggest you go directly to episode 2's step-by-step example. Let's talk about what the cloud is today. The cloud became a magical buzzword, and it really does merit this notoriety. Today, we can do all kinds of things on the cloud. As we look at the diagram, we see a lot of interconnecting devices. There are desktops, laptops, phones, and tablets all being synced using the cloud. A good example of this syncing is Apple's iCloud, which uses the cloud to sync iPhones, iPad, and macOS X computers. The first service provider is Infrastructure as a Service, or IaaS. For this series of screencasts, we will be focusing on the Infrastructure as a Service model. Amazon Web Services, or AWS, is the most popular Infrastructure as a Service provider. In 2002, Amazon launched Amazon Web Services. Amazon Web Services grew out of Amazon's own need to scale due to the high level of web traffic they process. Amazon realized that other companies and developers could benefit from Amazon's research and development, as well as their extensive investment into data centers. Let's go through this scenario and use S3 to host our file. To start using S3, you need to sign in to your Amazon Web Services account at console.aws.amazon.com. If you already have an Amazon.com account, it will walk you through the setup for adding access. As we see in the map, there are regions in orange and edge locations in blue. These edge locations are found all over the world. They allow AWS to have a fast server as close as possible to the client. Don't forget to keep the RDP port open or you won't be able to connect. Verify that everything is set up correctly and click on Launch. Since we're switching databases from an internal database to RDS, we need to back up the existing database first. Later in this demo, we'll be restoring this backup to RDS. The schema that contains all of our WordPress data is